The recording will be on the BKCO Hub. Today's class is about what to capture in your open house to create content for social. Let's get it going. So first, quick tips. All right. In the open house, or maybe while you're previewing a property for your client, there's always that gap where you're either setting up, waiting for clients, or maybe you're just inundated with them because they're here and they're wanting to see the property. Sometimes there are opportunities to film, sometimes there aren't. What can we do to maximize that effort is what we'll talk about today. So if you are someone who doesn't know what to do, this is the perfect time to chat about it. Bring your questions, because I'll go through everything that I know, everything that we've done to execute filming for our clients. I'm a social media manager. I own a marketing agency. I film for my clients. I post, edit, all of that stuff. So ask me anything. I'm open book. So we know that not showing up is the thing that we don't want to do. Not creating content is the thing we want to get comfortable with. Because we don't have an open sign hanging around our neck, we don't have a specific place that says, hey, we're open. We need to show up and tell people where to find us, how to meet with us, what to do, what's that thing that you can offer or bring to the table. When we're at the open house, the goal is to capture evergreen content. What I mean by evergreen is content that you can reuse over and over again to fill those buckets of content that people want to see. So, what we want to focus on is just capturing pictures, videos of you in the house in a beautiful space, prepping the home. I'll give you a couple more ideas, but right off the bat, I want you to think of that opportunity as to capture as much content as you can. The best thing to do is just to get comfortable being in front of the camera if you haven't. And if you are comfortable in front of the camera, now we can be more intentional. Now we can really go through what is good content and what is not as good content. So, first of all, yes, doesn't need to be perfect, doesn't need to be polished. You want to stack up as many visuals as possible that you can use for B-roll. B-roll is a term videographers use for secondary footage that is not talking directly to the camera. Open houses. You're in the location. You already have the product. It's the house. It's what people want to know. You just need to capture it. The type of content that we're aiming to produce from this open house could be a couple of things. It could be showcasing the house. Given, yes, you've already gotten permission from the owner of the listing agent, and they allow you to post video content on social. So yes, first, get the permission. Most of the times when you are hosting the open house, you have the permission to market for it, so that's okay. If you don't, you're previewing the property, make sure to get permission from the listing agent and also have permission from their designated broker. That is one of the newest rules about marketing on social media that needs to be implemented ASAP so that you can make sure that you won't be subject to any fines. Fines can range from 5,000 to 10,000 per post per platform. That means on Instagram, on Facebook will be a separate fine. So, just make sure that you get that permission before we start posting about the listing itself, and make sure that in the listing caption that you have the name of the listing agent there. You don't need to necessarily tag them, but it would be a great courtesy to tag the listing agent and the property address. If you want to say, maybe keep the address and the details and say, contact me for more information, but here's the listing agent, give them the credit down below. You're safe and you will avoid any compliance issues for that matter. If you have any questions or want to go in depth about that specific topic, about how to stay compliant, looking at advertisement guidelines, please let me know or reach out to Janine because Janine has all the answers for that. Simple content plan. Aim to capture 5 to 7 clips. 5 to 7 clips don't need to be a 1 minute long clip. As long as your camera is steady, your camera and your phone is better than it's ever been. Simply because there's so much upgrades that has happened to your standard phone that allows you to do all of this, if not more, right off your phone. So simply with your personal device, capture the exterior, capture the entryway, slow pan movements. Slow pan would be like, okay, if I'm starting right here, I want to slowly approach the kitchen area and then stop. I'm going to remove the blur so that it doesn't really interrupt what I'm trying to show off visually here. And if you have any questions, let me know. Okay, so slow pan movements, side to side, slow pan movements as well. It's important to capture that because you can use it over and over again, being intentional about how you're capturing the clip as well as what you're capturing will enhance the quality of your video. I promise you. It's simple as that. It will look like a professional camera if you could do it with these few tips. So entry, exterior, living area, kitchen, bedroom. These are clips that you can recreate or use over and over again, but make sure to have permission from your listing agent, from the listing agent. These are visuals of what the perfect shot could look like, and I'll explain what the perfect shot is because there is a reason for all of these to why it looks so polished and great. Let's look over the first photo that says front of the home. Although these are AI generated content pieces, they are as you would shoot them. And so I don't mind using these as examples. I'll show some real life examples that I've shot as well. But notice that in the frame, front of home, the subject, which is the house, is in the middle of the screen. This is our first introduction to the rule of thirds. Rule of thirds, write that down. Rule of thirds is, if you can imagine a hashtag going across the screen, it's 2 lines vertical, horizontal, and 2 lines vertical. The subject needs to be in the center 3 squares at all times. Center left to right, center top to bottom, or in the very center square. So yes, that hashtag like this, the center square in the middle, or right across in the center, which is what's depicted right here. The second shot shows the entryway. Okay, so now if I were to use my iPhone, my Android, I would probably want to bring my camera to a 0.5 visual to be able to capture the long hallway and to capture the depth of the hallway. Now we're focusing on another rule. Well, there is one. The center is that long hallway. My eyes are going to automatically look at how awesome and wide that space is for all of the different furniture. Yes, but the focus is on spacing. People want to think about how big the space could be to fit all of their things, their families, all things. What you can see here is an example of leading lines. That's another rule in photography and videography. If you can create leading lines, it brings the eyes towards a certain portion of the video or photo. The lines that I'm looking at here are the lines on the floorboards, right underneath the that table on the right hand side, and then the one on the left. So it's all leading to the center, which is that long hallway. Also still applying the rule of thirds. Let's move on. Wide living room shot. Now we're analyzing this photo. What makes this a great photo? What makes this a good angle? Because it's showing everything. It's showing the space as a whole. It captures the main living room area, which is in the center third of the photo. It's going to be like right in the center. That's where I see the couch. That's where my eyes go automatically. This is important because it really brings out the elements that you want to showcase. If I were to capture half of the couch, wouldn't be as great. Now, what if I sat on that couch and I sat there and I opened a book and I just read through that book, 5 seconds, closed it, and the clip. That's one shot already. The wide shot is important, and it's also just as important as the mid-range shot, which would be the next picture over. The kitchen detail shows a mid-range shot. The mid-range shot will capture more of you. If you were to stand behind that island and then take the photo or take a quick video of you doing something in the kitchen, maybe you're setting up, pretending you're setting up the staging, you're checking out what's on the countertop, turning on the faucet, those are the clips we want. The scene is the kitchen details photo right there. So set up the camera or the tripod. This is a tripod that's 20 bucks on Amazon. Super simple. Open it up, stand it on the table. Pretty easy. Pretty easy to use. There are a lot of tools that you can use that'll be just much more flexible for different cases, but I'm focusing right now just purely on capturing the moment, capturing the shot. This will do. If I stand up my phone on the table with these devices are pretty popular right now, make my phone stand up upright. This is enough too, right? It stands upright, hit record and start filming. That's the scene. We'll talk about what to put on the video after this presentation while we go through the editing steps, but the last photo we want to analyze is the unique feature view of the pool. Great. Grabbing shots of the unique features of the house is amazing, right? I think it goes without saying. A lot of the houses that we tour, not everyone is the same, but when you see a house with a unique laundry chute or a awesome built-in intercom for the older homes or like a old antique telephone, cute, right? Visually fun to see. That's awesome. That's interesting. How can we do something fun and different? Capture those unique features. Keep it simple. Now we want to talk more about what happens when you hit record. There are videos where you're moving. There are videos where you're stationary. The stationary videos, you can be the movement in the shot. The subject itself can be the movement in the shot as well. So if I'm focusing on this water bottle, I'll give you a better example. That's fine. If I'm focusing on this water bottle, I can move towards it. I can move around it. If this was a couch, if this was a beautiful island, I can move around the island like this, and that's one shot. 10 seconds. That's enough. That's enough clips to reuse and repurpose over and over again. That's really all you need. And in this day and age, the content that does well is typically shorter. if you don't notice that. It's pretty um, short, simple, and as long as it has the value, the information that people want to hear, it will perform better than a long clip that has too much information. Keep it simple, even with the information that you are presenting with the visuals, with the clips. Okay, moving on. If anybody has any questions, feel free to jump off of mute. Make sure my volume is up. Setting up, use your phone. Clean your lens. Cleaning your lens will really make that difference. And I don't know if you've ever seen this before, but if you're capturing content and you see this white line that comes up when you point towards the light, it's the best indication that you need to wipe your lens. If you are taking a photo and because your phone will automatically adjust to the lighting, but if it's cloudy on the camera, it won't adjust well. So let me see if I could try to take a photo if I dirty up my lens. Um, Too late, I already cleaned it up, but happens often. You want to carry a a glass wipe, or one of these ones that are like wet wipes, also from Amazon. These are a game changer for quality. Good lighting. Open up the blinds. Lighting also is a big factor in how your video or photo will appear. And I'll give you an example just from this angle where I'm sitting in my home office. So the light you can see is coming from the right. And then as I turn my head, my face gets darker on this side. Not great lighting. If I were to bring the computer this way, you can see my entire face. Good lighting. If I bring my camera this way, my entire face is dark. Probably more than half of my face is dark. Not good lighting. So this angle works better for me. Could turn my camera a little bit more this way. That would be great. Just to analyze, as you're looking at my frame, I'm gonna remove the screen so that we can all kind of look at my face for the sake of this tutorial. So just thinking about framing and good lighting, we'll try to apply the rule of thirds to this entire frame. So I'm in the center, not at the bottom, not at the top. I'm in the center. There's lines coming from this angle and here, which would probably make it look better if I was right in the center. Because your eyes will trick you. And if you force that angle to be right here, I could also be off to the right. That's still an okay shot. But I hope you guys see how the leading lines here can put an emphasis on where my eyes will focus on. Okay, I will go back to the presentation. So try this as many times as you can. You're not gonna do it immediately. It takes some time. Either focus on the rule of thirds or focus on leading lines to really build up that frame. One or the other. Choose one rule to focus on as you're learning and evolving with, more tutorials. I'm sure maybe if you have time to look up YouTube videos to learn more about photography and videography, if that interests you. What I will say is focus on one rule at a time and try to really work on that, whether it's slow panning movements. Focus on doing that. Practice. You're not going to do it automatically. It's not something that comes natural. It's definitely a skill that you develop over time. And you could do it with your phone. So start practicing as soon as you can that next open house. Stabilization. Cameras have built-in stabilization. So don't worry if you're kind of jumpy or if you're walking in the open house with heels on. I find that it really either puts that extra step or shakes the camera up a little bit. Not terrible, but try to stable your hands as much as possible. Stabilize your hands. If not, there are editing apps like CapCut that have a stabilization feature that you can add on to your existing video. So helps makes it just much more smoother and much more professional and crisp looking. Record a quick intro video, talk about the home, share key features, answer common buyer questions. These are now we're going into the thought process of, alrighty, I will film all of these video content pieces. What can I do with that? If I film the front of the house, the entryway, all of the features of the home, me in the frame, that's important. I can say from a personal experience that all videos with a subject, a person in the video will perform better than a video without a subject. That is just a house, right? It's great, it's easy, it works, but it will perform better with you in the video. If you want to record a voiceover, there is an app called Voice Memo. Voice memos will capture your voice pretty well. You could talk about the key features of the home, or you could go in directly into selfie mode and start filming yourself talking about the house. Hi, and I'll back up so you guys can see me a little bit better. I can record like this. Hi, I'm in this home. Um, I love this house because XYZ, da 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 da. Don't worry about the scripts. Also, fun fact, that I'll say from personal experience, it's easier to have bullet points and to talk about those bullet points sounds a lot more natural than to read off a script. Yes, sometimes scripts are necessary, but just answering point blank, this is what I think about XYZ. I was talking to my client and she asked me this important question that I think everybody should know about. And then go on with it. You can edit all of the things that you don't want in the video, but it works much better if you capture your authentic voice and the way you talk on the spot. Another thing I will say, as to Marianne's point, she is now working with clients who are looking and in the market. I'm sure they're asking a lot of questions that other clients are curious about as well. That is the type of content that you want to talk about. That is the type of content that people need to hear. Another example, one of the agents in our office was talking with a client and they were wondering about how the home prices are in Capitol Hill. So she went on the NWMLS, got the data, and posted that. That information went viral overnight on LinkedIn, 10,000 impressions. 10,000 impressions for a simple data sheet. It wasn't even a video. Her videos have gone viral in the past of her talking about client experience or her personal experience with her mom renovating their home. And that worked out really well and got her a client. So, speaking about experiences and sharing information from the perspective of the client is super important and will perform much better than hey, this is how you apply for a mortgage. This is how you get into a home quicker. It works much better when you're speaking from that perspective of the client, sharing that information, especially these days. Trends have changed. This is what works right now very well. Back into back into the posting structure. We create the post, we add the caption, create the post, meaning the video content or the graphic content. Today we're focusing on video. So creating the post, capturing the video, building the intention of that video. What is it going to talk about? What are we talking about in this video? Obviously not talking, but can we create a theme for this video that it's going to talk about rates, that it's going to talk about a fun fact, okay? Adding the caption, scheduling, and publishing, and then it goes live. Alrighty. So now that we've talked about the ins and outs of creating a video, simply with your phone, with a tripod, at the open house, what kind of shots to take. Now we're going to add another layer of that purpose, what goal we want to have for these videos. Show you guys a few examples of content that I've worked on and content for agents that I see are doing so well. We're going to talk about different styles now. There is a Tech Thursday class next week that'll talk about the different styles of video content for real estate. So if you want to learn more about the different styles of video content for real estate, please join me next week. Today we're focusing on what we've captured at the open house. So I'm going to pull up another screen here and show you guys someone who is crushing it right now with the techniques we've just talked about. And then sharing my screen again. Let me know if it glitches out. All right. We are looking at Simi Real Estate on Instagram. Follow her if you haven't. She's amazing. She also has a lot of videos that focus on that simple capturing of content at the open house. So let's analyze the clips with what we've just learned today and what we can do to execute and make the same types of clips that go insanely viral. I just switched over to the Reels tab to show you guys the performance of her Reels. She's done amazing with the most simplest concept of creating content. I personally took this one. I'll show you more now that I'm like in a lot of different examples of what would be great to do. Let's look at it from the top here. Moving to Seattle and not sure where to live. Here's the real difference between Seattle and the East Side. Okay, I would start the video from this point. I would not include this part of the footage, but from here where the camera is super stable and panning from left to right, that's the clip that I would use. Still performed well, was just posted 4 hours ago. Still an awesome video. Let's look at the next ones down here. Performed really well. Every buyer. Now let's talk about the text on screen. So the text on screen is every buyer I'm working with in the greater Seattle area asks me the same question. Isn't the real estate market supposed to crash? Again, with that common objective or comment that buyers have and just exposing it, putting it out right there. Why does this work? Because it tells and answers the questions that people are already curious about. Text overlay is very simple, black and white, the same font every time. Meta is cutting 8,000 people. Why I'm still telling buyers to move forward in Greater Seattle. She focuses on evaluating or diving deep into that topic in the caption, giving all the information, her contact information, and comment, consult. Let's look at your numbers together. No pressure, just clarity. This is the caption that we want to add. And I'm going to share the previous slide that we were looking at, because as it relates to the caption, keep the caption simple, add location and hashtags for search ranking and visibility. Let's move on to the next videos. I'm going to share this one right here. Moving on to the next. And I want you to understand that videos will build over time, and as your account keeps on growing, you give people the opportunity to binge your content. Just make sure you're putting out content that aligns with your audience. Doesn't have to be the most perfect video. It doesn't have to be the best shot. This is obviously showcasing the amazing big walk-in closet, slow pan from left to right, circling around the subject. Important text that describes something buyers are curious about. Here's one that involves movement from the subject herself, showing off all the burners work and how amazing and beautiful the countertop is. Slow pan movement going forward. This obviously does require someone behind the camera. This video doesn't. It still performed pretty well. 124 likes, 19 likes, and it varies, but don't let the likes get you down. We're not chasing likes. We're building connections. We're putting information out there. We're wanting to be seen as the expert in our niche. The only thing you need to do is keep consistency. Keep the consistency up, okay? This one shot does not involve someone behind the camera, although I was behind the camera. It is moving, so you can tell somebody was behind the camera, but it's at an angle that doesn't require that. I could set up the tripod behind me. Now looking at the frame, the laptop is in the center thirds the entire time. Her face is to the right, but it also is still in the center thirds, which makes it very important for that framing, the angle. It's coming from behind. That is a shot that's called like a POV, over the shoulder shot. This one too does not require somebody to be behind the camera, although you can have me behind the camera if you'd like. You could face the camera with you in front of the mirror. So many different examples. There's another, and this one is obviously a tripod setup. She's walking out of the house, frames right in the center. You can still see the big, beautiful house. You can also see movement from the subject. 5 seconds. That's it. That performed really well. Let's see what the numbers are. And I'm picking on her because I know oh, great. Right. This one, 51K views. This one, 2,000 views. Now, if you were to put 2,000 people in a room, that's a lot of people, right? Now, if people are not liking, they're viewing it, they're coming back to it, they're following you, still give yourself that credit. Please give yourself that credit. You've done the work. Although it may not show, that's 10,000 people viewing your video. That's the Tacoma Dome, like being half filled, viewing your video, right? So realistically, it's a lot of people. People may not engage, they may not say it, but trust and believe that they are looking. And there is going to be a time where they may approach you in person and just say, hey, I really liked the information you've been putting out. I recognize the hard work you're putting in, and that feels much better than the validation of the likes and the amount of likes that you get online. The goal is to get people to communicate with you. The goal is also to build those relationships. So if you are and can create the time, we can create the time. We can have extra 5 minutes in our day if we schedule that out. but create the opportunity to say hello to all of your friends online. Simple message. Hi, thank you for following. People start following you, send them a message. Say, hey, thank you for following. I hope you're enjoying the content. If you're here for real estate, or if you want more information, please let me know. That's it. That is literally it. Sometimes people will follow, they're interested, they forget, they get sidetracked, on to the next one. But that's the way you're going to turn these videos into clients, into leads. It doesn't matter how many followers you do have, people will come and they will interact. And especially with social media, you could be everywhere, you could be nowhere. You could be everywhere if you're posting all the time. You could double that effort of being everywhere by connecting with the people who are already there for you. Okay. This is a fun one I think a lot of people can relate to. Shannon sent me this video and it worked really well. And the humor around this is if you want to get more business, plan a trip. And we know that once we're off to something fun, vacations, people are calling you, hey, I think I'm ready to look for a home. The joke is that always happens when you go on vacation, that you all of a sudden get super busy and swamped. Now you're working on vacation when you're supposed to be relaxing. So POV, right? She's sitting in the airplane, taking a call and talking to her clients. So going into the next set of videos here, she's standing in the middle of the frame. This one doesn't have her in the shot. This one, these are more trends. I want to show you guys something that would be easy to replicate on your own. This one right here, talking on the phone, pretending to be talking on the phone, might require you to have another phone. Or if you're looking on the laptop, talking like you're on a Zoom call. If you're reading through your notes. If you're sitting at the dining room table, you could be doing the same thing, but in a different area. And that's a whole nother video. You'd be doing the same thing with a different outfit. And that's a whole nother video. All of these clips here on the screen are taken at different times with different outfits doing different things in the house. One video could also be 5 separate videos. Okay. The text on screen says, me 6 months later. I wonder if they found a landscaping team. I hope their kids are doing well. People think that after the real estate and the transaction that you're gone. That's the message here, that it's more than that. It's connections to me. And the comment here, great attachment you've shared with your client. So considerate. Right. Okay. Always looking to share the message behind what makes you so unique and awesome. Everybody's different. As you can see, the way Shannon does her videos and the way Simi does her videos are different. Let me show you something that was funny that it really popped off, for lack of a better word. It went really well and stirred up a lot of chatter. This one was simply showing off that I hope I can share you the the only video that she shot was her coffee cup in the window, and she's showing off that it was that one day where it snowed so hard in Seattle and everybody was basically stuck at home, expecting my clients to cancel because of the bad weather. Recreating a trendy reel. This was I think a Balenciaga fashion show or some high fashion house fashion show. Um, but we stitched that in and that got the attention of so many people. simply sitting fun content that talks about the house, that has the messaging, simple content that you can film, adding text overlay. The text, don't overthink it. Same caption style, works great because there is a sense of familiarity that your clients are looking forward to as well. They want to see the same thing that tells them, oh yeah, that's Shannon. Oh yeah, I should call her. It's that type of building a brand that requires familiarity that makes people remember you. So don't overthink the caption, the thumbnail, and all of that stuff. Really just stick to that one template, that style, that one text style, and go with that and start building. And if you want to change eventually different styles of content where you're talking to the video and all of that stuff, yes, it'll come, but it's better to represent yourself as that brand that is consistent, that people can remember, that shares valuable information, than a brand that's constantly doing something different. That won't stick as easily as a brand that is consistent and shares the same information, because that just screams reliable. It just says, yeah, this is someone that I can trust. This is somebody that I can trust. Okay, we have about 15 minutes left. I just want to open up the line for any questions, any inspo. How are everybody feeling about this? Simple videos to capture. Any comments? Any comments? Okay, awesome. Now I'll drop my email in the chat in case you guys want some extra feedback on your video content. How can I make this better? How can I improve? What other ideas do you have? If you want to ask me any questions, please let me know. This is something that I do professionally. This is something that I do to help agents buy back their time, business owners, really. Here's another client that I have that is a coffee shop in Kirkland. And what they're doing is also along the lines of just sharing fun content that is relatable, but that shares the messaging of their. If you guys scroll as much as I do, you've probably seen a video and the same trend. You can recreate it for real estate too. You could also do something completely different. Going into the explore page, you will see a lot of different content pieces. So I'm gonna go there because this could be a good starting point for you to explore different types of content. Excuse me. So now I like a lot of skincare, so that's what you'll see a lot on my explore page. But let me find a video for you guys. Hold on. Shannon Coley. We show you some video examples that you could recreate. Now, recreating video content and putting your spin on it is going to make sense because it's doing something that already has been proven to work and perform well. So as you can see, Shannon sends me a lot of different ideas. And here is the same idea that we saw just a second ago, but for real estate. Oh, I saw it. And then it went away. The 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 trend here is, does he do this for you? Does he do this for you? But I do. Okay, so that's the trend that we were just seeing with that coffee shop video that I just showed you. Here's a version of it for real estate. I'll show you guys here. It's going to be on mute. Does he open the doors for you? I do. Does he make plans for you? I do. And the same concept is there, but they're in the house. There's a client with her. She's talking about, does he celebrate with you? I do. And at the end, if he doesn't, I will. And then it has her contact information. If I click on, and now I'm hoping that this inspires you to go find some trendy videos to recreate, because it's an amazing opportunity for you guys to leverage new audiences. If you click on the audio, most times this will work, but if you're on your phone, has a different interface. If you click on the audio, you'll be able to find all videos with a similar concept. All right. So great content to recreate. It only takes that opportunity. Like, you can make the content whatever you want it to be. I want you to just keep in mind to focus on communicating to one audience. Whatever the video is about, relay that to that target audience. Is it a first-time home buyer that we are hoping to attract with our content? Is it a luxury buyer that we're hoping to attract with our content? Keep that message consistent. Keep that idea behind the concept of the videos consistent, right? One last slide before I let you guys go. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for listening and letting me share these different ideas. But this graph that I'm going to share with you is, what can I say? Is all of the different types of content that you want to have with your videos. That if you haven't had that like light bulb moment happen yet, I hope this gives that light bulb moment for you. So I'm gonna skim through this. Is an old, not an old presentation, this is different presentation. But all content posted, it doesn't necessarily have to have a real goal or purpose, but I want you to think about the content that you create that fills in these buckets. So the content marketing funnel. This applies to email marketing. This applies to social media. This applies to marketing for events, building awareness, and then the evaluation, conversion, and then retention. So the funnel is built to narrow down your specific target audience. Awareness, creating awareness with those blanket videos that say, I'm in real estate, that have topics like how to do this, tips, tricks. That content falls into the awareness bucket. You want to have content that fills all of these buckets. Content that builds awareness shows who you are, what you do, where you work, who you work with, what happens when this happens, what information is good for this. Evaluation, when you bring people into the mindset of evaluating whether or not you are the right fit for them, it looks like sharing guides. This is how we do this, and you need to do this now with a little bit more urgency. Content that has reviews, testimonials, that type of content, explainer videos that have a little bit more urgency gives people that, wait, I should really think about this. Conversion type of content involves a stronger call to action that also involves case studies. Not only is it a testimonial from the perspective of the client, but it looks like, hey, this is what happened and how our client almost lost the home on the closing day. That will get people's attention. That will give them more information. That'll provide a case study because it's from your perspective and you're giving them more into that idea of what it takes to really do it and do it well. Retention style content is content that really pushes, it's more of like you have to buy now type of video, the sales type of content. We have this listing, it's on the market. We need, we are looking for a buyer that is interested in living in the city, being next to the best trails that get you to downtown the quickest. Retention style content looks like that, but it also involves top of the funnel content, which means the cycle continues. And then you begin filling in the bucket. Your fans, your raving fans, are gonna be the ones who make it to this portion, or they're gonna be the ones who reach out to you by DM. You can speed up that process by saying, hey, contact me if you need XYZ. For those of you who are here, I'm giving you all the goods. I'm giving you all of the details of what I do and how I do it. You're going to see one step into my process of sending that blanket message to everybody who follows me, okay? And how that has converted for myself. This is the blanket statement that I'm talking about that you should be sending to every client that comes from your videos, whether you go viral or not. If they're following you, they're interested. I promise you, they just need a hello, hi, how's it going from you? I'll show you exactly what I mean. Here's a blanket statement that I've used and the way that I use it. When I follow or when people follow me back, I send this to everybody. Hey there, appreciate the follow. Hoping you're seeing my screen here. It's highlighted this. This is where I'm reading from. Hey there, I appreciate the follow. Curious, are you needing social media support? Someone behind the camera or just here for free game? That's what you want to say, but in your words. Hey there, I appreciate the follow. Curious, are you needing help with real estate or are you just here for the free information? Social media and support behind the camera. Sometimes it will look like nothing happens after that. They just like that message. They go away or they say no. But if you don't ask for the sale, you're not going to get it, right? Okay. So awesome. I saw that you booked a time to chat. She immediately booked. She went through my page, did not know her. She knew someone I knew. Great. We booked a chat. That was April 1st. So glad we chat. Really looking forward. Talk soon if you need and we had a follow-up conversation. Now we're working together. That's how quick it happened. 2 weeks, we are now connected, right? We're working together. She's a client already. So this could happen by a simple message, but I promise you, if you don't ask the people who follow you, if you don't create the content that they're looking for, you're not going to solidify that relationship right away. And that's the beauty of social media is you really have everybody available to connect with. Your job is to tell people what you do, to tell people how they can connect with you, and then to ask for the sale. 5 minutes a day. Go through your followers, see who's followed you recently, send them a quick copy and paste message that says, hey, if you're here for this, I'd be happy to help. If not, I'd still be happy to help. Thank you for following me. And that's all. I hope this is helpful for you guys. I hope this gives you more information to really take on social media seriously this year because you guys, the deals are happening left and right. If you're curious, please check out the recording that we have on the BKCO Hub when I interviewed what is his name? I forgot his name. Oh my goodness. One of our agents from the South Side, South Sound office, the Olympia office, Derek was on a call, on a Tech Thursday call, and showed exactly what he did to connect with buyers and sellers online with his social media platform. Thank you guys so much. I hope this was helpful. Again, please don't hesitate to reach out, drop your name in the chat, drop your email if you want a copy or a summary of today's class. Looking forward to seeing you guys next week. Take care. Thank you guys.